guys, I'm FPL Nymfria and welcome back to the home of FPL videos. Time for my update video. I've been keeping you guys up to date via my Dream Team live streams, but I know you lot like these videos, so I'm going to try and keep them coming weekly where I can. So let's recap on how I got on since last week. Gameweek 30 Plus was an eventful one and seen me back with a bang. I decided to use my unlimited transfers to try and get the best of both worlds with the double game week, and also bench boost to try and fend off those free hitters. The players that made way on my unlimited transfers were Krul, Taylor, Baldock, Messina, Salah, Sarr, Jota and Pope, and the players in were Aguero as my captain, naturally, Norwood, Grealish, Lundstrom, Lascelles, Target and Henderson. My original Game Week 30 team got 66 points without a bench boost and excluding a captain, as I'm unsure where I would have put that, to be honest, given my options. I'd like to say I would have put it on KDB, but I think that's probably a bit of a lie, and I probably likely would have gone Aubameyang, and I may well have bench boosted anyway. So let's say the maximum points on my original team, including Aubameyang as captain, would have been 88. Not a bad game week normally. I certainly wouldn't have moaned about it before the break, that's for sure. The changes I made though did see me get 29 more points for 117 points in total, and the first time this season seeing me in the 100 club, taking me from 585,000 OR to 328,000 OR, and it could have been much better. I seen the early team news about Nyland starting over Rayner just after my live stream ended, and in all the confuddling and with not much time to change it, I ended up missing out on the extra 8 points Nyland would have given me. Hugely frustrating, as it also seen me going into Game Week 31 Plus without a goalkeeper. So here's how I got on there so far. Given my goalkeeper blundered the game week before, I went batshizle and decided to go without a keeper this game week. It's what all the trendy people do these days, don't you know? There was a slight hope, given how terrible Nyland has been, that Rayner might get some minutes, but I didn't want to take a hit for a keeper for 1 week. It's a problem for another day with Henderson back in Game Week 32 Plus, hopefully. In defence, Trent absolutely smashed it with the amazing free kick and a clean sheet with Baps to boot. Lascelles losing that clean sheet late on was a tad annoying, but Doc getting his clean sheet was always a welcome sight. The plan for Game Week 31 Plus was always to take a -4 to ship Aguero and Grealish for a forward of Danny Ings' price or less, and with the main aim to get back one of Salah or Mane in for Grealish's spot. I went back and forth between Salah and Mane so often, and finally decided on the live stream to go with Salah and made a live transfer. Not much separation between the two in the end. Salah had 1 shot on target, 2 shots off target and 2 shots blocked, with 2 key passes to Mane's 1 shot on target and 5 key passes. I'm always a little confused on how these bonus points work, I'm not going to lie to you guys, but given Salah also had an assist over Mane, I can only see the possession lost as to why Salah didn't get a bonus point in the stats. Still a little harsh, I feel. Nonetheless, Salah's 11 points was an upgrade on Grealish's 2, and now we wait to see on Ings tonight, but hopefully looks as if I've covered that hit. I settled on Bruno as captain. Any minutes for Mo in the previous match and it would have been on him. Just felt too risky though with him not getting on the pitch. Bruno definitely felt much safer. A blank from Mr. Consistent came at exactly the wrong time. I'm unsure both KDB and Saka start tonight for me in midfield, but I have my fingers crossed for both there. Jimenez was a slight consideration for captain, but the pull wasn't strong enough. Keeping him on my unlimited transfers so far though has been a massive lifeline for me. He's been a big help. With Ings getting a goal and an assist against Norwich and playing a weakened and already fragile Arsenal team tonight, he came in for the injured Aguero. Now with Ings coming in for Aguero, I would have found letting Aguero go a bit tougher given my love for him, but I guess the injury sadly helped with the separation there. Really hoping he gets better soon though, and we get get the chance to have him back in our FPL teams ASAP. I wait eagerly to see how both Ings and Alba will do tonight. I'm currently on 47 points and a big red arrow again, which is not great. So I somehow need all of these players to start and go big to save my game week. Else it does look a bit disappointing after last game week of 117 points, I'm not gonna lie. Looking ahead to game week 32 plus, and this is how I'm currently lined up. I do have a free hit, but I am eager to kick that down the line for the moment. Honestly, on paper, this team looks okay, and how many times have we said that this season and it's actually turned out to be an absolute horror show. Anyways, I'm going to judge Aubameyang on tonight's performance. If he doesn't start, if he looks bad at all, if he's just not getting in the right positions, doesn't look like he's gonna attack at all, or not really, in the right spaces, I'm extremely tempted to get off before Norwich. I know it's Norwich, but I have to think long term here, and holding him for some miracle in one fixture could be detrimental with Rashford on the rise and facing Brighton up next. So I will either be holding a transfer and rolling if Aubameyang does well, or possibly doing Aubameyang to Rashford. The only other moves I'm sort of considering are sorting out my keeper situation and possibly getting rid of Norwood, but the second option definitely needs Aubameyang's cash so that I can invest in Norwood up to somebody higher, so that's not likely to happen this game week. Captaincy is currently between Salah, Bruno and Jimenez. I see Poole being hungry for that title win at City, so far Salah is edging it for me. He looked great, he looked sharp and hungry last night, and I think it looks a tough fixture, so he could be a slight differential as a captaincy option. Moving on to the trendy transfers this week, let's take a look at how things could develop ahead of game week 32 plus. Of the goalkeepers, Schmeichel's penalty save against Brighton sees him the most transferred in goalkeeper, as he's snapped up by over 14,000 managers. The cheap 4.2 million Martinez standing in for Leno at Arsenal is the second highest in this week with 8,000 buys. Henderson is the most transferred out goalkeeper this week with 21,000+ sales, and the injured Leno making it as the second most transferred out with 18,000+ sales. With Henderson out for the week and Sheffield United's defence looking all a bit shaky with injuries to O'Connell, Lundstrom has become the most transferred out defender with 25,000+ sales, although Kelly of Palace is giving him a run for his money as the trendiest transfer out with 24,000+ sales. The trendiest swap for these players are Wan-Bissaka with 23,000+ purchases and Uriah with 22,000+ buys. Doherty is close behind these two though with 21,000+ sales and rising. In midfield, the United men have seen a flurry of action as managers flock to pick up the United attackers. Martial with that hat-trick last night is on everyone's minds and in over 105,000+ more of managers' teams ahead of Brighton next game week. Fernandes, despite disappointing last night, has still impressed 24,000+ of you, and sitting in between the United midfielders as the trendiest midfielder in this week is Traore with 38,000+ purchases. Grealish is the trendiest midfielder out this week with 64,000+ sales. Behind him by some distance is Cantwell and Richarlison with over 20,000+ sales apiece. Up front, Aguero's injury has seen him by far the most transferred out forward this week with 116,000+ sales and counting. Vardy is the next highest out but still not close with 59,000+ managers shipping on the Leicester man. Rashford is the trendiest forward in this week with 83,000+ purchases, and the second highest is Jimenez with 66,000+ purchases. I've also added a new feature which I added just before the break, and it's called my Transfer Radar Pick. This will feature a player I think is being overlooked by the community to move in or out of our teams. This week my Transfer Radar spotlight is on Son, and he's a consideration for getting into your teams. I did consider Kane for this spot, but I think we need to see a bit more of him. Owned by just 8% of the community, Son has just over 23,000 purchases this week. And after his assist against West Ham, unless Sheffield United can pull themselves back together fast, I can see Sonny taking serious advantage of that damaged back line. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, hopefully with another Dream Team stream. And don't forget to check that out for the competition and some exciting news about the channel. Please feel free to check out my sponsors, fancyfootballfix.com. And before you go, So please, please, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all those fabulous things by hitting that notification bell. Until next time, Nymfria out.